Hello, Manitoba. I'm Larry McIntosh, and I'll be your host for the next hour. I want to take a moment to thank you for listening to Food and Friends. I'm thrilled with the number of people who say they've listened to the show and who've sent in guest ideas. Should you have any comments or suggestions about our show, please feel free to email me anytime at larrymcintosh@peakmarket.com. That's again Larry McIntosh at peakmarket.com, and McIntosh is MC. My guest this afternoon is Quintaine, Marketing Manager at Kildonan Place and Grant Park Shopping Center. Good afternoon, Corey.
Hi, Larry. Thanks for having me.
Oh, pleasure. So you are the Marketing Manager for two malls.
It's true, actually. Kildonan Place and Grant Park are both managed by Primaris Management, Inc., which is the company I work for. This just happened recently. Just last year, Kildonan Place was sold and management changed, so we went along with it, and Grant Park became part of my purview. So we've got great teams at both centers, which is really fantastic.
And we're during the next hour, we're going to talk about both centers because I think it's fascinating. There are different geographic areas, different sizes, different things happening. So we're going to spend some time on that. But when I was doing some research for our interview today, on Friday I went to the website and looked up the shopping malls that your company owns across Canada. I used to work for a company called Byway Stores, which has been gone for quite a year. Some of our listeners will know the company. We had several stores in Winnipeg, but a lot of those shopping centers we used to have stores in, so I'm very familiar with them.
Oh, I believe it. I remember Byway going back when I was a little bit younger as well, and always remember shopping there. And yeah, it's funny how retail changes throughout the years. Names come and go, and sometimes they even come back.
So one of our viewers texted me before we came on the show this afternoon and said, "When's Santa arriving?" Oh. So do you have the answer to that?
Well, Santa has been at Kildonan Place since the 15th, so he is there and ready to see kids. He arrives a little bit later at Grant Park. He's coming on the 28th at noon, actually, and we're greeting him with carolers at Grant Park on the 28th. So it'll be exciting. It's always good to see the big guy come back.
Is that the first sign of Christmas is when Santa comes back? Are you already well into it with decorating and everything else?
Well, for me, believe it or not, Christmas planning starts in July when I'm ordering things, getting things arranged, all that kind of stuff. But really, once the lights go on, Santa is there. He lets out a big ho, ho, ho. That's kind of when it gets really exciting and when you can kind of really know, yeah, it's Christmas time. It's crunch time. Were
you playing Christmas music in the mall prior to him arriving?
No, you know what? At Kildonan Place, we're a little bit nice to our folks that work in the kiosks and work in the malls. We start actually a little bit later. We're planning to start that on December 1st, actually.
Okay.
Just because we know when you're in the stores, you hear the Christmas music, you enjoy it. And whenever you're out and about, you hear it and enjoy it. We started a little bit later just because we got some feedback going, you know what? It's not such a bad idea to have, that little bit of extra time.
So we'll talk, as I said, we'll talk about the specific centers as we go on here.
Sure.
But I'm interested to know, what trends are you seeing in retail in the centers? Are you seeing, obviously, Target is gone. We've talked about that in the show a few times. I think Canadian Tire is coming into Grant Park?
Yeah, Canadian Tire will be coming into Grant Park. We're not sure of a timeline on that yet, but that one is confirmed. In terms of Kildonan Place, we're looking at carving the Target space up into a few different retailers.
Okay.
Nothing we can reveal at the moment, but it's going to be exciting for Winnipeg.
I'll ask you off the air, then I'll announce it later. No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fairly large space, and it offers lots of opportunities for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's, and it's really a great opportunity to bring in some names that might not be familiar in the east end of the town or might not even be familiar to Winnipeg. But again, we're working with a lot of interested parties. There's lots of interest in that space, and we're really excited.
Have you seen lots of trends? I mean, as we said earlier, Byway Stores was around for a lot of years, disappeared, and Target we talked about. Right. There's also a lot of new ones coming in, certainly some U.S. retailers coming in, but some Canadian ones. Are you seeing any trends in the...
Well, really in retail, it's all about survival of the fittest. Adapting to your customers' needs, adapting to the customers' wants. And sometimes it's all about the experience. It's not necessarily about the best price, but sometimes it can be about the great experience you get in the store. We're seeing more and more of that, especially when people can shop online. To go to a store, you want to have that great experience. You want to have that, touch and feel the product, experience the product. So that's something we're really seeing a lot more of in retail.
Yeah, and you're right. If some people are willing to pay a little bit more for additional, I don't know, service, or I don't know what you want to call it, but a different experience, I guess, to some degree.
And service is always going to be a big thing, right? You can shop, say, the Children's Place website for clothing, but you can go to the Children's Place store at Kildonan Place, and you can meet the people who have kids that work there that say, my daughter loves this, my son loves this. So I think brick and mortar retail really is here to stay in some way, shape, or form. It's just a matter of retailers adapting to meet those needs.
Now, important in my business is grocery stores. So
Right.
Grant Park, you have the co-op there now.
That's right, the Red River Co-op.
And-
It's a fantastic store. So much local stuff there. It's really neat to see. They do a really great job.
They carry Peak of the Market vegetables. Did I mention that at all? Or?
Yeah, you know what? I tend to see it when I shop there all the time.
Perfect. So the grocery store is there. You have some restaurants there at both. You have restaurants at the other mall too. Is it important to have a mix of things in a mall?
Absolutely. Retail mix is the most important thing when you're planning a shopping center. You don't want to have too much of one thing or not enough of another. Something that'll keep customers coming back or staying a little bit longer. For instance, if you don't have a restaurant in the mall, people will have to go off-site to eat or, whatnot. So if you can keep them there for lunch, grab them before lunch, have them stay for a meal, stay a little bit after, that's really important. And again, when you talk about things like women's fashion, you want to make sure you have enough to suit a variety of tastes, but not too much so that, say men's and kids wear is, shifted out of the mall. So you want to make sure you keep that healthy balance. And that's part of really what makes a good mall great.
Do you have a favorite store in one of your malls?
Do I have a favorite store in one of my malls? That's a really tough one. It's kind of like picking your favorite child.
It is really, isn't
I
it?
probably couldn't do it. We've got some fantastic managers and some fantastic teams at all the stores too. So, yeah, to pick a favorite, I just
All right, let me rephrase the question. What's your favorite vegetable?
My favorite vegetable, corn.
Corn.
Always got to be.
Aren't you worried about the other vegetables being offended though?
They get their fair share of love from me too. So peas and carrots are always in the mix. So.
Perfect. We're talking with Corey Quintaine, marketing manager for Kildonan Place and Grant Park Shopping Center. And we'll be right back after we take this break for your weather update. Welcome back. I'm Larry McIntosh. Food and Friends Radio is on TV. Each radio show is filmed and will be posted on Mytoba.ca later today. So if you'd like to see the TV version of this or previous radio shows, please visit Mytoba.ca. You can also listen to an audio podcast of Food and Friends at SoundCloud.com and at the iTunes Store. So just do a search for Food and Friends with Larry at Mytoba.ca or SoundCloud.com or at the iTunes Store, and all the shows will come up for your listening or viewing pleasure. It's very important for me to mention that Food and Friends is only available because of 680 CJOB and its advertisers. So please make sure you tune in here Sunday afternoons at 1 or listen live at cjob.com. We're back with Corey Quintaine, marketing manager at Kildonan Place and Grant Park Shopping Center. So I was saying off air, let's talk about Kildonan Place.
Sure.
So I haven't been there for a bit because it's not on my side of town, and that's really no excuse. I apologize for that. But what's going on? What's going on in the mall?
Well, the mall is always changing. The mall is always adapting. We've had a few new stores open up. David's Tea opened up shop. Fantastic Canadian retailer. Call It Spring, another Canadian shoe retailer, opened up as well. And of course, with it being Christmas time, we've got all the seasonal kiosks are in the mall. So we've got like the Hickory Farms, Calendar Club, all that kind of fun stuff that you only get at the holiday season. So it's always evolving, always changing, and there's never a dull moment, I can tell you that much.
I can only imagine how things change because, some retailers come and go. I get that, and depends how long their lease is and all those kind of wonderful things. But it's constantly changing, not only from a store point of view, but seasons for what you're doing promotion-wise and everything, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. Although we do have monthly events at Kildonan Place, which is really kind of fun. We did a rebrand of the center last year and rebranded with Shop Happy, and we set off a series of monthly events. So we celebrate holidays, so National Hot Dog Day or Bring Your Teddy Bear to Work Day. So we've kicked off those, and we've been going with them for over a year and a bit now, and they're so much fun. They're so fantastic, and it's just a lot of fun to come into work.
Now, the Shop Happy campaign is cool.
Oh, thanks.
It's fun. It's National Hot Dog Day. Find your other sock. Whatever. I was reading some of the things.
Yeah.
But you also just recently won an award for that, did you not?
Yeah, absolutely. It was the Canadian Shopping Center Awards, and it was part of the International Council of Shopping Centers, which is a real organization. It's the governing body for shopping centers around the world. They had their Canadian convention and their Canadian awards, and we submitted our Shop Happy campaign in the multi-channel marketing campaign in our size category, and won the gold award in that category. So that means we're the best in Canada, and now we're off to compete against other shopping centers in the world in Las Vegas next year.
Well, congratulations on that. That's
you.
quite an accomplishment. There's lots of shopping centers of all sizes across Canada. Because being in retail in my old career, I know how many there are. So that's fantastic. But now you're going on to Vegas?
Yeah, exactly. If you win a gold award at the Canadian Shopping Center Awards, you're automatically qualified for the Best of the Best Awards, and that's at Recon, which is ICSC, the International Council of Shopping Centers convention in Las Vegas in 2016.
In Las Vegas, not a bad place to go.
It's true. It's true. It'll be an interesting conference, that's for sure.
How many stores and services would you have in the mall?
In Kildonan Place, about 100, give or take, depending on, when you count in the seasonal kiosks and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say is the best kept secret about the mall?
The best kept secret about the mall? Really, it's the attitude of the people that are there. We did a little bit of research a couple of years ago, and what kept on coming back is the people love the feel they get when they're at Kildonan Place, that they feel like they're home, they're comfortable there, that the people that work in the stores, they might be their next door neighbor, they might be, the person that lives down the street from them, and they've got that great sense of service and that really sense of community at Kildonan Place. So that's kind of what sets us apart, and kind of what, if you don't go there very often, that's might be something that you're not too aware of.
And you have lots of stores, obviously 100 stores and services you were saying, but I mean, there's men's, there's ladies, there's kids. The movie theater's still there?
Movie theaters are there.
Fantastic.
Cineplex is there. So they've done some upgrades in the past couple of years, some newer seats and some new projection equipment and whatnot. So
just between you and me, like on a Tuesday afternoon, things are slow. Do you go see a movie?
Oh, I wish things were slow, Larry. I would love to take in a movie on a Tuesday afternoon.
Like James Bond opened not too long ago. And,
it's
there's some good movies out there.
I know, but this time of year especially, there is no rest for us at the shopping center. It's go, go, go all the time.
So Santa's there now?
Santa is there, and he's welcoming kids Monday through, every day of the week, of course. He is a hardworking guy.
And so can you get pictures of Santa and all those type of things?
Absolutely. You can always come for a visit and get, of course, a candy cane. Santa always has candy canes.
Candy cane.
I know.
We got a campaign going on. We want to change that to carrots.
Well, Larry, we might just be able to work out a
And
deal.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Why candy canes? Why always candy canes? What happened to carrots?
Well, if we had a good carrot supplier, we might be able to work something out. If you know a guy, you let me know.
We'll have to talk off air, I think.
And then on top of that, you get some fun stuff too. A headband with reindeer antlers, which of course kids love, and adults kind of love too, I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
And then some crazy glasses that make everything look prismatic, rainbow. They're kind of like the old school 3D glasses, they look like, but they give everything a great rainbow hue, which is kind of fun. You just have to make sure when the little ones have it on that they're walking in a straight line, because it does, kind of change what they're looking at for sure.
The other thing I read is you have, I think it's coming up, but it's not now, but free Zumba classes?
Free Zumba classes are actually every Wednesday in the mall.
Oh, it is now.
Yeah. We started that. A few months ago, and it's just taken off. We have a wonderful group of students that come in every week. A fantastic instructor, and it's free on Wednesday morning, starting at 9 a.m.
Okay, so for those of us that don't know what Zumba is, is that like exercise?
It is exercise, and I've tried it, and I give a lot of credit to the ladies that do it because they are fantastic. It's all dance-based. It's for every skill level, really. You can be a beginner, you can be fit, you can be just someone.
Do you need rhythm? Because that could take me out of it right there.
Oh, trust me, I tried it, Larry. Anyone can do it, but it takes a real pro to do it really well. But all skill levels are welcome. So even if you're a little rhythmically impaired, Tammy, the instructor, would be happy to see you, I'm sure.
So that's free Zumba classes at Kildonan Place every Wednesday at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just show up and...
Just show up. You know what? And they are so popular. It's actually kind of funny. I often talk, we almost need more space to put our classes in just because there's so many participants, but it's a lot of fun.
That's great. We're speaking with Corey Quintaine, Marketing Manager at Kildonan Place and Grand Park Shopping Center. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Food and Friends. I'm Larry McIntosh. I want to tell you about Peak of the Market's Recipe of the Day that will be featured in Monday's Winnipeg Free Press and at peakmarket.com. Monday's recipe will be sausage pockets. This recipe has lots of veggies in it, shallots, spinach, and mushrooms. Sausage Pockets will be featured as the recipe of the day on Monday in the Winnipeg Free Press and at peakmarket.com. And both the Winnipeg Free Press and our website have a brand new recipe every day, 7 days a week, so please make sure you check it out. Peak of the Market is also on Twitter, so please follow us at Peak of the Market for the quote of the day or Food and Friends guest updates. We have over 200,000 Twitter followers, and we'd love to have you follow us too. Again, we're at Peak of the Market, or you can follow me at Larry McIntosh. We'll be right back with Corey Quintaine, Marketing Manager at Kildonan Place and Grant Park Shopping Center, after we take this break for your news, sports, and weather. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm Larry McIntosh. I want to remind you that Peak of the Market has a Facebook page, so please find us and like us on Facebook. We currently have over 90,000 likes. We'd love to have you join the group. Updating our status regularly with news on our charity events, interesting maybe tidbits. So please find us and like us on Facebook. We're back with Corey Quintaine, Marketing Manager at Kildonan Place and Grant Park Shopping Center. So you guys, the malls are into social media in a big way too, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's a great way to reach out and, stay in touch with our customers, get feedback from them. And yeah, it's just fantastic.
And it is amazing how interactive it is because, I mean, when we went on social media, it's because everybody else was doing it, and that was a lot of years back now. But it's really neat getting the feedback, as you say, and getting the word out about events.
It's true. And it's as a good customer service tool as well, for folks who want to reach out and tell us something, and then we can get back to them. And, sometimes it's something that can be, talked about in a couple of tweets, but sometimes it might take a little bit longer. But we're always happy to hear from our fans and our customers alike.
So let's talk about Grant Park Shopping Center. I'm getting ahead of myself there. So it's been renovated recently too.
You bet. Yeah, it's just completed a renovation. We're looking at some interesting changes, of course, coming in the new year, like we had mentioned with Canadian Tire. And
everybody knows Canadian Tire is coming there. They just don't know when.
Right. Yeah.
Because it was announced, so that wasn't a secret when I said that earlier.
Yeah, it is on its way, but we're still looking at timelines for that. So there's lots of great stuff in store for Grant Park next year. It's going to be fantastic.
So unlike I was saying earlier, we haven't been out to Kildonan Place in a while, but Grant Park Shopping Center, we're there, not necessarily in the mall, but we go to the co-op there, the Red River Co-op all the time, Petro-Canada, we use the car wash there, McDonald's for coffee.
Of course.
So we're in that area a lot, and that mall, it looks good.
It's fantastic inside. That's one of those things that really is. Actually, I was talking to a customer yesterday, and she said that Grant Park, she feels, really is a hidden jewel in Winnipeg. And just because it is bright, it's beautiful. It's not, if you haven't been, it's not the Grant Park that you remember from the 80s. It's not the Grant Park you remember from the 90s. Heck, it's not the Grant Park you remember from, 5-6 years ago. Landmark Theaters just finished a beautiful renovation. They've got a customer lounge in there. Coca-Cola Freestyle machine. You can have 150 different types of soda or something.
I was playing with that. That's too many decisions for me, but yeah, it's really cool.
It's true. But if you need help, they do have an app. You can actually pre-order your drink on the app and then go up, sign in, and poof, it's ready for you.
So, not this is about the mall, but they have an app?
Apparently they do. I haven't tried it myself, but yeah, Coke is doing some crazy things at the theaters at Landmark there.
And there is that little area where you can go in and sit before or after movies. Yeah. I don't even think you have to be going to the theater. I think you can buy popcorn and go in there too if you want.
Absolutely. If you want to get a snack from the concessions and just sit in the lounge that they've got there, they've got a fireplace and they've got some entertainment going on, some TVs. You're welcome to just have a seat and enjoy yourself.
And of course, a Winnipeg tradition, the McNally Robinson.
Yes, absolutely. Always, it's one of our anchors, of course. So we're so happy that they're at Grant Park. Prairie Inn Cafe, the restaurant, fantastic food. And it's really unique. It's kind of one of those things that sets Grant Park apart. It's that unique retailer or that unique service that you don't necessarily find anywhere else in Winnipeg. So we're really proud of them, and we're really happy to have them.
So what do you see happening next there? I know there's obviously Canadian Tire opening up. Do you see a lot of other changes within the mall happening?
Well, of course, with any shopping center, you will see some stores coming, some stores going. Nothing we can announce officially.
Oh, come on. Just tell us. Between you and me, tell me what stores
I wish I could, Larry.
Okay.
But yeah, Grant Park is really evolving. Like I said, it's the interior of the mall is new and bright and fantastic. We've got some great retailers. Northern Reflections just opened up a couple of months ago. We've got some nice renovations. The Source just did a fantastic renovation of their store. So you'll see that continued evolution of Grant Park, and we're really excited about what's going to be happening there in 2016.
And Santa's coming soon.
Absolutely. He is coming on the 28th at noon. The Yuletide Singers will be caroling him in, and he will be ready to see kids of all ages.
Yeah, so I was just going to say that. So if I want to get a picture with Santa, is that possible?
Absolutely. Santa
Or is that just going to seem weird when, I'm in line?
Oh, you know what? Santa sees kids of all ages all the time. He is happy to see anyone. And in talking to Santa, he has some pretty interesting stories about little kids and some bigger kids, too. So Santa has seen it all, but he would welcome you for a sit and a chat anytime.
So when you look at the two malls you're responsible for, and you obviously know about your company owns a lot of malls across Canada, do you see things changing the way malls are going to be promoting, or any trends you see?
You know what? It's a little bit of everything. It really depends on the market. Of course, in Winnipeg, Grant Park and Kildonan Place are in very different areas of the city, very different markets. So even just between the two malls, you might see a little more traditional type retailing for a smaller center, kind of grassroots, kind of community building things. And then for bigger malls, and this is speaking into the bigger cities and stuff, you'll get into the fancy digital things and that as well. Not to say that both our centers don't do digital online initiatives too, but we're seeing a bit of a return to the meat and potatoes, kind of a little more.
I'm liking the potato part, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, exactly. But kind of the old-fashioned, come on in and get something for free, come on in and experience this. And that's really the big evolution about shopping centers that I've seen, in the past 10, 20 years. It's been less about, it's always about the shopping, but it's more about the experience you get when you're shopping. And that's it comes back to what I had said earlier, kind of about when you go to a store and you get the great service. When you come to a shopping center, if you can go there and there's something happening, whether it's a community group, whether it's a choir from a local school singing, whether it's, a fantastic light display, which I've seen in some other cities around the world. It's all about the experience at the shopping center and how to make that experience that much more fun for your customer.
To make your point, just before we go to the break here, I used to live in Toronto for a lot of years in Eaton Centre. I think it's still called Eaton Centre downtown there. It's a massive mall. You go down there to shop, but it felt like you were shopping. When you go to Kildonan Place or Grant Park, it feels like a community.
Yeah.
It feels more like home. I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the kind of feel that we hope you get when you come into our centers, right? You want to feel comfortable. You want to feel that I belong here, that this belongs to me. And a lot of our customers have that great sense of ownership. Actually fantastic to get their feedback.
We're speaking with Corey Quintaine, the marketing manager at Kildonan Place and Grant Park Shopping Centre. And we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. I'm Larry McIntosh. Peak of the Market has a recipe email subscription service. You can sign up to receive free email recipes on a daily or once a week. Just go to peakmarket.com and click on email recipes. The system will ask you for your email address, obviously, the province you live in, and how often you want to receive recipes. It's that simple, and you can unsubscribe at any time. Now, if you're like me, you worry about signing up for things and getting junk emails, I can guarantee we do not share any email addresses with anybody. You're just going to get recipes. We currently have over 27,000 subscribers to our free recipe emails, and we have someone from every province and territory in Canada, every state in the United States, and people in 170 countries around the world getting recipes right here in Manitoba. To join our recipe club, please visit peakmarket.com. We're back with Corey Quintaine, marketing manager at Kildonan Place and Grant Park Shopping Center. So we were talking off air about big events. Obviously, Christmas is big for you, but Black Friday, I know it's big in the States. Is that something that happens here?
Every year in Canada, it seems to get bigger and kind of evolves. And it is definitely a big shopping day in Canada now, for sure. A lot of our retailers are preparing for it. We're preparing for it at the centers.
So has that already happened, or is it coming up?
It's coming up.
Okay, I didn't miss it. Good.
Yeah, no, you're still good, Larry. So it is coming up. We actually have two events, two centers, two different events. Grant Park, it's a more civilized and sophisticated version of Black Friday shopping. It's black and white Thursday night, and that's on November 26th. And, it's got some great deals, and then we've got entertainment in the mall. We've got refreshments happening. We've got some prize draws to win event tickets, all that kind of fun stuff, that experiential stuff that I was kind of talking about before. Like I said, a little more civilized, a little more sophisticated. you can still get some good deals, but you can have a little more fun when you're shopping. So that's on the Thursday.
Black and White Thursday.
Black and White Thursday night.
Okay.
And then Black Friday at Kildonan Place happens, of course, on November 27th. And that's a great day. We open at 8 a.m. Some stores even open a little bit earlier at 7. But all the big fun starts at 8 a.m. and goes until 9 p.m. that night. And of course, it's great deals throughout the mall. We've got some fun contests and stuff happening, and lots of specials, and just it's a fun day. We like to have our customers shop happy on Black Friday. You know, there's lots of people there, but it's a Canadian way of shopping, right? There's no throwing elbows and, game on. It's a little more polite.
And some people, go to the States because they want an experience. They're going to save some money. I would not do that to save a few dollars, seeing it, what I've seen on TV at least. But really, you would like to keep the money locally where possible. And certainly your dollar goes further right now with the U.S. exchange and everything else. But it also sounds like a fun Black Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really great, when you're keeping your money in Winnipeg, it's, keeping your neighbor employed at that store, at that mall, that kind of thing. It, of course, and it's just a lot more fun with the exchange rate being what it is being. A lot of people are seeing that there are some advantages to shopping at home this holiday season. So we're hoping they'll check us out because we've got some fun stuff. Kildonaplace.com. We'll have the listings.
Kildonaplace.com to check out Black Friday coming up this Friday, November 27th.
That's right.
See, when I asked the question, I wasn't sure if I'd missed it. So
I know.
You could tell I don't follow Black Friday that closely. So let's talk about you for a minute. So what's your background? Are you from Winnipeg?
I am born and raised in Brandon, Manitoba.
Brandon, okay.
Well, just outside of Brandon, actually.
We have lots of listeners in Brandon.
Yeah, love Brandon. Growing, born and raised there. Worked at Eaton's back in the day. I'm dating myself an awful lot. Worked at Eaton's in Brandon and then moved to Winnipeg in 2000 and went to Red River College.
Ah, so what'd you take at Red River?
The Creative Communications program. Many great Winnipeggers have gone through that program, and just walking through the halls at radio stations like CJOB here, you see familiar faces all the time.
Chuck Davison, who's the president and CEO of the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce, is a graduate. We were just talking a couple weeks ago, and he said anybody that went to Red River and took creative communications is guaranteed a job. Like, that's a pretty bold statement.
It is. It's true. I mean, and the talent that is coming out of that program is so fantastic. I was really honored to be a part of it. I graduated from the old Red River College campus, and looking at the new campus, it's so fantastic. At the risk of sounding like a grouchy old man, those kids these days didn't know what we had to work with back in the early 2000s.
And what do you do in your spare time now when you're not at the malls or?
Well, I am a pop culture aficionado.
A pop culture aficionado, okay.
Yeah, I know some bizarre trivia. I can name all of Charlie's Angels and the actresses and the characters' names, first and last name, if I have enough time to think about it. And then I'm also part of the BS Comedy Players, which is a local theater group.
Oh.
Yeah, it's political satire, musical comedy. We do our show every May. It's so much fun. It's all locally written, locally produced, and it is just a blast. I've been doing it for about 15 years now, and it's so much fun.
So you are busy.
I am busy. I am one of those guys. Like I equate myself to a circus performer spinning plates. You spin one plate, you let it go. You spin another plate, you watch it go, and then you keep going back to the plates to make sure everything's spinning and on top, and hope that nothing breaks.
I also read that you have a certified marketing director designation from the International Council of Shopping Centers.
It's true. It's a designation. I had to study for it, write a very long exam. There are only a couple of us in Winnipeg right now, but and it is across the world and across the country and across the world. So it just kind of shows within the shopping center industry that you've taken that next step to kind of learn the industry and learn what it's all about. And
your theater, the BS Comedy Players, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, exactly.
You perform in May?
Yeah, it's in May. I believe May 4th and 5th is the show, but don't quote me on those dates. And I've been in some fringe performances as well. I've been on stage since I was about, as young as I can remember. Part of the hazards of being an extrovert, I suppose.
Do you enjoy that?
I love it. I really do. It's kind of funny. You put me on a stage and I will do almost anything. You can ask some of my BS comedy cohorts. To go up to a person in a crowded room and say hello, that might be a little bit tougher.
Isn't that funny, eh?
It's so strange. But I have done almost everything on stage.
We had Cherry on here last week from the Prairie Theater Exchange, and we were chatting about theater. And one thing I could never do is remember my lines. I don't know how actors remember lines. When I'm reading a little bit here, I mess it up. So that's got to be a talent.
Oh, it is. It can be tough. You know what? But when you're working with great people, it's that interaction that really makes that memory part kind of stick. when they've got their cue and you just know, oh yeah, okay, it's like a conversation like you and I are having, only it's kind of a prearranged conversation.
Yeah, but you'd say you're lying, and then I would just go totally blank. And I'd be standing there looking at you, so that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, we'd cover for you.
Yeah, that's
we'll
perfect.
get you on stage. We're always looking for fresh meat for volunteers.
I think we might want to pass on that. We're speaking with Corey Quintaine, the marketing manager at Kildonan Place in Grant Park Shopping Centre. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Food and Friends. Please join me next Sunday afternoon at 1, where my guest will be Kevin Klein from Mytoba.ca. Mytoba.ca is one of the most visited news websites in Manitoba. In addition to featuring Food and Friends TV each week, they also are doing a story on a peek of the market grower every week, so interesting website. My guest today has been Corey Quintaine, the marketing manager at Kildonan Place in Grant Park Shopping Centre. The hour's flown by. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Larry. It's been fantastic.
And if you're interested in information, I assume both malls have emails?
You bet. Well, KildonanPlace.com
Yep.
and GrandParkShoppingCenter.com, or you can find us both on Facebook and Twitter.
Thanks for being on Food and Friends.
Thanks again. It's been a blast.
Thanks to everybody for listening. Take care, and please, don't forget to eat your veggies.
Thanks so much. No worries. Thank you.